Alrighty, looks like we are live. Welcome back, everybody. This is the Sleuth Intuition channel, and I'm your host, Patrick Vallejos. And today is June 18th, 2025. It's 6 o'clock here in Arizona. What's going on? Curious Contrarian, glad to see that we never have to hear about this crap again until she hits somebody else when she's drunk. Yeah, that's the scary part. Did the jury get it wrong? Who pays the price for that? Some unsuspecting ex-boyfriend? Good to see you, Karen. Christine. Jari. CJK. What's going on with you, Mustang? Patty, good evening. A lot of you out there had it right. You said nope, just not enough. Not enough evidence to convict Karen Reed. Jill, what's going on? Let's take a look at the poll question. Karen Reed is not guilty because not enough evidence, but she likely did it. She was framed by police. Defense team was just that good. Nope. Jury did their thing. Accept it. 41% of you said not enough evidence, likely did do it. But I selected jury did their thing. Accept it. I don't think I would go as far as saying she's not guilty. But yeah, if you don't have enough to convict her, I mean, shit. That's it. Done deal. Good to see you, Cyber Warrior. Who are we missing? Oh, Melissa's here. Melissa Wildcard. So happy hump day. Today is the 18th. It's about 112 degrees here in Phoenix. It's a little bit warm. I got some ice water and a refill. Welcome in, GP. All right, so what do you guys want to talk about tonight? Koberger had a hearing today. Karen Reed was acquitted. That sounds nice. 70s sound real nice right about now. I mean, we're to the point right now, you get into your vehicle, you can't even put your arms down. Everything just so hot it burns you. Steering wheel, seat belt, the stereo, the armrest, whatever. Not to mention you're cooking until your AC actually kicks in. What are you talking about, Melissa? I pulled in black piece stuck to my side yesterday. Now it itches like crazy. Greeno podcast. What about it? Something going on with Greeno? Oh, damn. Yeah. If it was a tick, you got to worry about that Lyme's disease. That shit ain't no joke. What else is in the news? The possibility the U.S. might go to war with Iran. And on X earlier today, they were posting videos of Iran launching what appeared to me to be an intercontinental ballistic missile. So I feel like I'm living right smack dab in the middle of like some Nostradamus prediction. I'm like, where's the guy with the blue turban? Where is he? What's up, Louise? GP says, I had Lyme disease last year. Be careful. Yeah, my uncle had it or has it. One of the two. Welcome in, Mark. All right, so we're going to start a new poll. We'll close that one down. Will the USA go to war with Iran soon? Bam. Mustang, I don't know. I thought you couldn't. I thought once you had it, you had it. What's going on with you, CJK? All right, let's see what the folks have to say here. Will the USA go to war with Iran soon? Majority of you say hope not. I don't know, but if they're over here launching ICBMs, that shit can reach probably New York. And if they believe in martyrdom, everybody knows if you launch a nuclear weapon at a country that has nuclear weapons, mutually assured destruction, they're going to launch everything they got at you and your allies. So if their religion and culture is based on martyrdom, I think it's pretty scary for them to have a nuclear weapon, because then that means as soon as they get it and they have the capability to launch it, they will. But we've heard about weapons of mass destruction before. But I'm talking about what I saw with my own eyes. If that's real video, of Iran launching a missile, it's definitely an ICBM. Good to see you, Beth. Prior to putting Ayatollahs in charge, they were a terrorist nation. They weren't a terrorist nation back in the 50s and 60s. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the United States that helped them get into power and overthrow Iran. I know there was a huge revolution, and they're still in charge. They have like a religious leader, but he's also the commander in chief, I believe. The supreme leader, the Ayatollah. Was it the Ayatollah Khamenei? That big old meanie Khamenei? You can find photos online of women in modern clothing while they attended universities. Yep, I've seen that. That's a big if anymore, Sleuth. All this AI crap is pissing me off. Um, I don't know. You can kind of tell the difference if you know what you're looking for. But yeah, it is getting really good. It's like getting hard to tell. Here, let me see if I can look it up. Let's pull up x.com. People are kind of debating about it right now. But I know what that looks like. Here in Arizona, we can see when they launch them from California. That's where SpaceX used to be. Also, NASA. I think Virginia. What is it? Virginia Beach. And you basically, the rocket has different stages, to get it into the upper atmosphere. Once it gets up there, I don't know if they can track it. And then it just drops down from anywhere. Let's welcome in Phil Bond. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, that's definitely what that looks like to me. They tried to say that Iran had some kind of underground base that nobody knew about, that they just discovered. It's some kind of huge nuclear base, and everything else was a decoy. Then apparently today they launch an ICBM. So it'd be pretty interesting. That kind of changes things. Yeah, I believe that's what this is right here. See if I can find more. That's what they're claiming this is too, right here from earlier today. And you can kind of see where it breaks up right here. This is like the different stages of it. So you'll see like something kind of explode and fall off. So pretty interesting. CJK says the apartment building in Israel that was hit by something a day or so ago was sad. Too many innocent on both sides will be hurt. Our USS Gerald Ford aircraft carrier. Yep, that's right. I think that was yesterday, actually. Here, let's look that up. You know what I don't like about that, though, Beth? Because I feel like China's behind a lot of this. And if we remove that attack force or that attack fleet that's protecting Taiwan, I feel like they might take advantage of that. That'd be kind of embarrassing. Using Iran as like a decoy. Like, oh, look over here. Pull all your resources over here. And then boom. There's nothing you could really do. It'd be over in 4 hours. What's up, Davey? Tony, what's up? Wild times. It's the Wild West. Yeah, strike group. Damn, that thing is massive. It's a floating airbase. Beth says, that's true about China, Sleuth. I read somewhere Iran received 2 shipments of something from China. Yeah, let's hope it's not some kind of launching system and miniaturized nuclear apparatus. What's up, Goat Dog? The fact that one person died over this whole conflict is a tragedy and completely unacceptable as a human being. People make me ill. But how do you fix it? I feel like war is a lot like gambling, somebody with a gambling addiction. If I just do this one bet, I'll win it. I'll win a little bit of money back, and then I'll win more, and then I'll get my money back. I know it. So it's almost like Israel's like, if we just can get rid of Iran, that'll solve all of our problems. But it never ends there, right? It just keeps going and going. It's endless. Sorry if you guys hear me go quiet. It's because my allergies have been bothering me today. I get this like tickle in my throat, and I got to start sneezing a million times. What up, Goat Dog? Davey, man, after watching a few different YouTubers the past few days, makes me really appreciate you, Sleuth. So many grifters. When one says the Brian Koberger case is a weak circumstantial case, I have to roll my eyes. Yeah, I mean, you got to be honest with yourself, right? This is a group in the crowd that tries to do that. To thine own self be true. Otherwise, you're just kind of like a follower. I would rather be in a room full of leaders that might bump heads from time to time than just be kind of following somebody else around, riding on a coattail. At least here we all have a seat at the table. She also says Richard Allen is innocent. Right? Karen Reed is innocent. Richard Allen is innocent. Brian Koberger is innocent. Really, a lot of these folks are just projecting the fact that they hate the state. They have this deep hatred for the state, and it creates a bias. And if everything is generated or starts from that bias, that's not a good place to start. It's not a good foundation. You never want to build your foundation on sand. You always want to build it on a rock or something solid. Or once you start stacking it up, it's going to sink. So you're only as good as your foundation, I guess. And if you have confirmation bias, I don't know. It's like beating your head against the wall, really. You might be right, but you'll never know. You'll never know because you didn't take the time to check. You were not willing to change your mind. All right. So that was the USS Gerald R. Ford. According to Beth, the most powerful carrier that we have. I've heard some people say it's unsinkable, but they also said that about the Titanic. Look what happened there. Mustang, technology is more important than humanity is the problem, I believe. Well, without humanity, there is no technology. And if there's no humanity, there's no us to enjoy the fruits of our labor or the fruits that come with evolving. I bet that was cool. I mean, it looks massive. It looks like a small town. Yep. The corruption, they're all Freemasons and Odinists, and they're all in on it together. I mean, the truth is that does happen from time to time. I'm not saying corruption doesn't exist and cops don't set people up, and there's plenty of innocent men in prison. And there damn sure is no such thing as justice. Not in this country. Not in any country that I've seen. I mean, do you remember when they hung Saddam Hussein on live TV? It was the craziest shit I've ever seen. And they did it like it was like watching some movie in the with the medieval setting, like some. It was like watching Braveheart or something. They had executioners hoodies on and everything. It was fucking creepy. It was basically a snuff film for the whole world. Pretty sure that traumatized me watching that. Beth, it sounds like they might be deploying. I heard there was some movement with aircraft too. Let me see if I can find anything on that. See, military movement. Thank you, Jari. Yeah, if you guys can't hit the Cash App, hit the thumbs up. Just do it. They are definitely all biased. The fact that they weren't created by human beings, so they are definitely going to be flaws. But it's better than nothing. We as people should strive to become better. Yeah, that's what people need. I think when people realize that we have an enemy in common, which is Satan or the devil or some evil force out there, right? That's out to get us. As soon as people realize that we're under attack spiritually and that who we are, who we're supposed to be naturally, has been taken away from us by some jealous force. Some refer to that as Lucifer. I had a McDonald's that had a Taco Bell. They had two dry cleaners. They had so much on there, so many shops. Okay, so it looks like we have refueling aircraft moving closer in support of stealth bombers. So, damn. Might be getting ready to drop some bombs. Let's see here. U.S. is moving forces to Europe. According to the Soar 7 C-17 military transport aircraft and 3 KC-135 tankers are already en route to Europe. I would really hate it if World War III would just was going to start any minute now. Wouldn't that suck? You just woke up in the middle of the night and you didn't have any power. Like the entire world just didn't have power. And all you see are like all these weird explosions going off in the distance. That doesn't sound like fun. The whole species. I watched a new Predator movie, Killer of Killers. Ooh, I like Predator. I love those movies, which is excellent. Is that new? And even the Yaka have a code that they abide by. Most humans don't have a code and are just sheep. Well, the thing about humans is our perception can be it's easily manipulated. You know, we're very it only takes a few stages to really corrupt somebody or manipulate somebody or mislead somebody. I don't know if you've ever sat down and watched one of those mentalists. They're basically like excellent salespeople. So when you're in sales, first thing you do is ask a bunch of questions. You know, it's kind of like that movie, The Game. Remember, they did a psychological evaluation on him and then they ran him through the game. They knew what he was going to do. They knew his responses. They knew how he would react. And that's basically what we are. We're in some weird game. God forbid we went out and started thinking for ourselves. You can't do that, consumer. It's like the Divergent. Tony, and I think a nuke is definitely coming in some form, honestly. Yeah, I think it would be foolish to assume that Iran doesn't have a nuke or some kind of underground installation. Elon Musk owns a boring company where he just digs tunnels through the earth, deep underneath the Earth's crust. So, I mean, who's to say there's not all kinds of weird tunnels fucking from China going all the way to Iran? I don't know if anybody remembers the French Indian War when U.S. first was introduced to guerrilla warfare. That's the thing. It's all about surprising your enemy, doing something unexpected. That always happens, right? U.S. did it by dropping the nuclear bomb. I think Germany did it with the was it the ballistic missile they created? What's going on, Crimezilla? Dark psychology. Crimezilla, our world as we know it is at risk for sure. Yeah, it's like the story of Atlantis. What if Atlantis never existed and we are Atlantis? It's more of a warning, some psychic vision. Or maybe Atlantis was just the last cycling and we're the next. And then eventually the world will build itself back up into a position of self annihilation. Push the button, a handful of people will survive. And 6,000 years later, boop, 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 they build back up and just keep repeating it. I don't know. Have you ever looked at the pyramids? It looks like they were underwater or something. We hear stories of the great deluge, the great flood. Tony, yeah, the V2 rocket, basically your Tomahawk missile. Doesn't it look like it was underwater, like up to about right here. Maybe that's why they built them to withstand the power of the flood. See, it kind of looks like erosion right there. Hmm. So maybe everything was destroyed on Earth except this heavy pile of rock. It was able to withstand. Maybe it's even Noah's Ark. Like anybody inside the pyramids, those are the only people that survived the flood. Because remember, there's like some kind of structure underneath the pyramids. And that's a new discovery as well. Let me see if they have something on that. We covered it on this channel briefly.
Briefly summarized, these findings allowed us to construct a 3D model of the entire complex. The examination of dozens of tomographical images obtained from different angles using.
So this is what they're saying. This is an artist rendition of what they're interpreting their findings to be. Some kind of huge structure under each pyramid. So if you have a pile of these heavy giant rocks just sitting on top of that, maybe this was part of kind of to withstand maybe the blunt of the force of the flood, and then also filled in with sand all around it. Maybe it was like a polar shift, like the movie 1200. It's a pretty good movie too. Oh, here's another drawing. Something like this. Check this out. Maybe it was some kind of anchor. I don't know. It looks weird. Like, what the hell is that? Okay, this is kind of what I was talking about. Ghost, what's up? Yo, so after doing my own digging on the Mount Ord murders, I found out from a mom in the group of friends that the spot they were found wasn't even their intended camping spot. Well, Ghost, if that's true, the thing I would say that pops into mind is it was probably pretty busy on Memorial Day. And if they went out there a little bit late or Memorial weekend, somebody may have already been in their spot. They may have even taken somebody's spot. You know what I mean? Or walked up and didn't realize somebody was camping there and disturbed them, maybe, and they got really upset. There's been a few times I've been camping up in the Arizona White Mountains and ran into a few nut jobs. Yeah, I wonder who the other group of friends was. I wonder if somebody knows. I think it's possible. Possible. It seems personal. You know, there was no robbery, no sexual assault. You know, it just seems personal to me. You know, maybe they knew somebody's deep dark secret, and this person might be a psychopath. Murder is always an option for some people. It's most likely similar to Nikolai Tesla's Wardenclyffe Tower, where you use the already existing electromagnetic fields that the Earth naturally produces to create energy. Yeah, that's true. Um, I was watching a documentary, can't remember what it was titled, but basically, in order to build like a time machine, you would have to harness natural energy. And they believe that wormholes open up all over the world. Things from another time can come in and we can go to other times. That shit's crazy. Maybe that's what black holes are, just on a larger scale. If you had the opportunity to jump through a black hole or some kind of time loop, time portal, would you? Would you do it? All right. You guys have spoken. Will the USA go to war with Iran soon? 44% of you say yes. 35% say hope not. 17% say no. 2% say hope so. You savages. Yeah, quantum physics in general, especially as it relates to human comprehension. Nope, I'm a chicken. Would you journey to the center of the earth? Yeah, what if we forgot about some advanced technology that we once was prevalent on earth? There's stories about Mars too, that it had life on it at one time and they destroyed themselves. So maybe that's what we've been doing, bouncing from Earth to Mars, from Mars to Earth, just terraforming the planet. Ghost. I think with that information, the chances of it being somebody they know is far more likely than some random by chance killing. I think so. That's the first thing that came to my mind, Ghost. I was like, this is somebody that knows them. Maybe they were having a party. Um, I'm getting the feeling that Evan might be, I don't know if he's bisexual or gay, but I have pretty good gaydar, and I feel like he might be a homosexual because they went out of their way to say that there was no relationship. So if there's no relationship between Evan and Pandora, I don't think they would just be hanging out like that unless they were really just really close friends, you know? And maybe he told her everything. Maybe he hooked up with some guy that was hot shit at the school and he wanted to keep it a secret. That's just what my gut was telling me. Goat dog. Yeah, the distances are hard to even comprehend when you start to look at the scale of the universe. Yeah, it's bizarre, man. It is bizarre. GP, I'm starting to dig on the pyramids quite a bit. I think there's some sort of energy thing myself. They're there for a reason. Well, some people think that it's some kind of a power plant, powered by like some kind of hydrogen power plant. Because it's really not that hard to separate hydrogen from your water or pull it from your water. Bob Lazar talked about how easy it was. I think he even did it himself, where he built um, the fuel. His fuel system was all hydrogen. He just poured water in it, and then it would separate it, and it would fuel the vehicle off of hydrogen. So maybe that's what that was. Power, some kind of power plant, some kind of way to separate the elements. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's sad, Goat Dog. Goat Dog says 8 to 10, or probably 9 to 10 out of the times you'll be murdered by somebody you know very intimately than are by some stranger. Yeah, and even scarier, might it's most likely going to be a family member. Rivalries, jealousies, all the things that represent the evil that we're up against, right? Specifically jealousy. The evil forces in this world are completely jealous for whatever reason. They don't want us to have anything great. They hate us. And these demonic forces that are among us, they hate us for whatever reason. I saw that, Beth. Yeah, but hydrogen burns funny. Gasoline is much more consistent. Yeah, but it's kind of dirty. You know what I mean? It's very dirty. And it's expensive. But yeah, it would probably just turn water expensive. All right, guys, this is going to be our 5 minute warning. If there's anything you want to add, do it now. If you guys need to get a hold of me, sleuthintuition@gmail.com. And if you can't hit the Cash App button, please hit the like button. And try to be like Dan, the curious contrarian. Go share the videos. I know they're nothing special, but let's get more people involved. Let's spread the good news. Oh, I'm sorry I missed you, Sharon. Welcome in, Sharon. No, I wouldn't jump in a black hole or a time loop. I have enough dealing with time now. Right? That's like when you ask an old man, like, hey, you ever cheat on your wife? He's like, what do you mean cheat on your wife? You mean like more than one woman? One woman is plenty. It's funny. Like, I got enough problems as it is. You're welcome, Beth. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being a mod, and thanks for being a member. I appreciate all you guys. Everybody that supports my channel, much love to you guys. Much respect. I appreciate it. And you know who you are. So thank you so much. And if you guys noticed, on the 21st, we're going live on the Evansdale murders. And then also on the 25th, we're going to go live on Dennis Rader. So I scheduled these ones way just to give me enough time, and I'm going to put something good together for you guys. I'm going to try to. Why is the sheriff saying we don't want to release information because the individuals involved may already know this information? What does that even mean? Well, what that means, Ghost, is you have people who make false confessions for whatever reason, mental health, attention. They don't know why, but it just happens. And then also you have some people that might be being set up, some false tips, things like that. So when they sit in, if let's say they find a suspect, they're like, okay, we found Joe Schmo over here, and we know he did it. We're going to interrogate him. But in order for him to give us something to use during a trial, we need him to confess, to give us a detailed confession. And what we're going to do is we're going to keep things from the public so we can say that in court, right? That's a tool. Like, hey, judge, we never told the public about this. This was top secret. Nobody knew about it. And then we found this guy and we did an interview with him, and he gave us details about the crime that nobody else could have possibly known about. Like maybe there was a deck of cards found at the crime scene. Nobody knew that. Or maybe there was a card, a ace of spades, shoved in a victim's mouth, or something like that. Just something really random that only the killer would know, like the type of weapon, or I don't know, just something real random. Something that they can use in court to say, hey, look, jury, this stuff was never made public. And during an interrogation, he gave us all these details that only the killer could possibly know about. So that's why it's important to secure the crime scene. Sharon, although I don't jump on live stream very often, I enjoy your shows. Thank you for all that you do to put on such interesting programs. Hey, thanks for hanging out. I'm just the MC, right? I'm just the master of ceremony, the guy who created the platform. It's up to you guys to elevate it, to lift it up and make it what it could be and what it is now. So thank you guys. Makes sense. This is why I'm not a cop. Ha 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 ha. No, sometimes it's good to have that perspective. Most cops that I've come in contact with have tunnel vision. They deal in statistics a lot. And they can't really speculate, theorize. So it's hard. We need everybody, right? It's a group effort. The man behind the man. That doesn't sound very good. Better than being the man in front of the man, I guess. Are you a power top or a power bottom? Yep. Thank you, Sharon, for sharing. Everybody, Goat Dog, Frank Meister, what's up? Ghost, it's good to have you. We're going to do another live stream here probably in a day or two on the Mount Ord murders. I'm just waiting for a call back from my contact over there at Maricopa County, over at the sheriff's office. Boston Christian, what's up? All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's quick little live stream. I will see you again very soon. Look for me sometime early tomorrow, and we'll get back into it. We'll see what's going on. We'll put our ear to the track and see what we have. But until then, I'll catch you on the flip side, guys. Peace out.